it finished loading that for me, then it switched me over.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, do you guys need a quick refresher on what happened, or are we good on that?
We got on the boat with the
Good.
Duke. I think. Is that whatever? Or the Count.
Yes, the Count is who you got on with. Count
So
Harlan
wait, are
Wells.
we? What's the situation? Are we on the boat and leaving, or what? How much do we skip?
Um, we're actually going to skip the sea voyage getting there. I decided upon this because with the Duke there and his guards, who are exceptional soldiers, there's not really anything that I could throw at you guys that would be really dangerous for you to fight.
Does the Duke have more power than the Count?
Um, it depends on how you view it. The
Okay.
Duke is the Duke's municipality is one of the big religious centers of Western Daramis, so he has a lot of power when it comes to like religious politics. But the Count is in charge of Northlight, which is the section on the east side of the Molagona Mountains, and because it's in Eastern Daramis, it has a little bit more autonomy from the normal mainlands of Daramis, and since it's on the other side of the mountain, it has a very loose political structure as when it comes to alliances. It's set up that way because Eurema very often uses that as a trading port as well, so they almost use it as a neutral ground in a way. So the Duke has more, you could say, like international influence. He's also a very valued asset of the royal family themselves, but religiously, the Duke has a lot of influence, and inside of Daramis as a whole, particularly in the west. So
That
it's
was
just
confusing because sometimes you said Duke when you meant to say Count or vice versa. But I kind of understood.
the Count of Northlight has more international
Okay.
Neil's on
power.
the way.
Yeah, okay.
And
Because of
then
his connection, his town's connection to Eurema and not Westeros. What the fuck? Why do I keep calling the continent Westeros? Fuck.
Daramis.
Yeah, Daramis. I keep calling it Westeros. Like, fuck, that's Game of Thrones continent. God damn it.
All right. So like I said, I'm just kind of shortcutting you guys past the boat ride. Actually, real quick, I actually wanted to see how long I declared that was going to take. I thought it was like 2 months, but I want to make sure. Give me just one moment while I verify that. Because you guys are going across a big fucking ocean. So. New Fonoros, I think it was in 11 to 20. That's
Can I roll
out to
some?
sea.
Oh wait, yeah, I don't have the materials. Never mind.
To
Fine.
fix the trap. Yep.
I was gonna roll craft checks, but I don't have materials. So
You just didn't stick with it. So
Guys, let's
close.
just play Magica instead.
I remember when that shit like was frustrating as fuck because it kept crashing for a lot of people.
yeah,
The Wizard War seems like it'd be pretty cool. I don't think it's out yet though.
I guess they found after a
Um,
while they kept patching and patching until it was
Thunder Eldenberry
a
about
lot
the
better. But when that shit first came out, holy fuck, I heard that it was like not running correctly.
Yeah, it could take about 2 to 3 weeks to go from Northlight to Wellcliff. Or no, yeah. So it took you about 2 to 3 weeks to get around the Cape to get to Northlight. And then to sail... Oh, never mind. Sorry. Okay, so... At the normal speed of a ship, it could take between 2 and 3 weeks to go from Northlight or Wellcliff to a port. To sail around Molagona to get to those ports, it could take 3 to 4 days, depending on the weather. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So yeah, you guys would have been on the ship for about 3 weeks to get to where you're going right now. Okay?
3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
From Wellcliff.
3 weeks from Wellcliff to Thiminor.
Okay.
I just wanted to verify that. All right. So you guys have been. Let me iterate this for you, also. You guys have been just basically stuck on this ship for 4 weeks, or like 3 to 4 weeks, or whatever, with the rest of the crew. And the minute that you guys see land, and it's called out from the crow's nest that you've reached your destination, you guys, it's a breath of relief, of excitement, but also just pure fatigue from the travel and having to stay in these tight quarters this whole time.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
once
like
you
the yes.
you seem to be making, or you spot it in midday, or the word comes from the crow's nest at midday that you guys are reaching the port, and the rest of the next hour or two are spent by the crew working fervently to prepare to get ported, or to land at the port. Um, from the minute that you step on deck after hearing from the crow's nest, being under the deck for such a long time, you note a very, very steep decline inside of the temperature around you. You kind of pull and bundle yourself up as much as possible, with the exception of, I think, Josan, who has the boots, correct? Or did he get
Yes.
rid of those?
I kept them.
Okay. So you feel fairly comfortable, but you can notice people are kind of like moving around. They're kind of like, they're even bundling up with blankets here and there just to kind of keep warm for those that didn't expect this drop in temperature. You notice that it seems to be, or you noticed clouds are somewhat over the land near Thiminor. As to
Something
Thiminor
cool about
itself, it seems to be on a rocky outcropping leading out to the ocean. Not so much like a seaside cliff with a huge decline, but there is a definite incline, as though it was built almost on top of a plateau or small mountain. As you get closer, you notice that it continues to be overcast, and the sky seems to be dark with clouds overhead. Some of the crewmen are wondering if perhaps there might be a storm inside of the town, maybe even snow. Many of these people have not seen snow if they've lived on the coast, and it's kind of exciting to them. Somewhat to Vaniel as well, who is far removed from the phenomena of snow when it comes to Aleid, which is very much a hot desert town. As you get closer and closer to the port, you notice that the port is mostly on what seems like a small natural harbor. And it appears that small lifts and stone steps kind of lead up to the proper of the town, which seems to be on the top of this small plateau. As you get closer and closer, Aldrazan kind of is making his way along the deck, and Captain Jacob seems to be fully on his way, or seems to be fully inspecting the crew, making sure everybody is ready, making sure everybody gets their orders to return to ship after a certain amount of time, kind of briefing them. You, on the other hand, are just completely relieved to be where you're at. Caspar seems to be making the final preparations, getting people together who will unload the Drakendarms from the ship for their delivery at Theminor. And, let's see, what the hell would, what's his name? What the fuck's Neil's character's name again?
Was.
Waz, yeah. Well, and I guess Waz is, has just been really looking forward to this as well. He spent a lot of time like just finishing up his inspections, and you've heard him voice his concern multiple times, especially with the Count concerning who this imposter might be, and just really kind of wondering what they might find when they reach the port of Thiminor. What else? Once you guys are starting to actually make your way into port now, and Aldrazan kind of calls you guys over.
All right.
I head over to him.
He goes, well, that's Theminor up there. You're going to be able to hit the proper of the city by taking the steps right there, and he kind of indicates near the harbor. Says, we're going to be landing right here. We hope to be out of here within the next 2 days, but and we're going to continue south from here, but for now, this is where you're going to be dropped off at. Says maybe you could work something out with the captain to maybe ferry you further south, but I'm not sure that he'd be willing to make an extra stop in a peripheral city. We're planning on going much further south than Desov.
How far is Desov from here?
He says, well, from here, you're going to have to make your way through the Frost Timber Forest, which is outside of Themenor, kind of surrounds it a little bit. If you continue south along the roads there, you're going to hit probably the most veritable obstacle, which is the Cairnlands. He says, are you familiar with them at all?
No. Well, actually, what can we roll for that? Geography?
Yes.
Yes.
Geography
All
will be
right.
fine.
I had that
Roll
one.
a 10. And I don't even do that. Yeah, I think there are this. I think I know what those are.
Okay, what do we got?
Dead people go, right?
Okay, Avani, is that accurate for you, Avaniel?
Yes.
Okay, so you've kind of picked up along the way. You remember hearing about it in Northlight, actually? And you've kind of picked up some information as you've been inside the sea voyage. A couple of people have been around Eurema. You know the Cairnlands, they're a very flat, rocky badlands that is extremely cold. Extremely cold.
So it's
But
like an
there
Arctic
is
desert.
but there is no ice or snow that falls there because it is so dry. The air almost just sucks the heat out of your lungs.
I see.
You anticipate that that's probably going to be the most difficult physical part of the journey, is making your way across the Cairnlands. You also have heard tales that normal mounts usually are not hardy enough to make it past the Cairnlands. Horses tend to break their shoes. They tend to split their ankles on the uneven ground, things of that nature. And you don't know exactly what, but you've heard that there are other methods of travel that people use. Even going by foot can be rather taxing on oneself. And if you do go, you might want to catch some extra pairs of boots, as they tend to fall apart along the way.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
Looks like I'm gonna be memming some endure elements. Cause, ouch.
Once you get further past the Cairnland, he says, once you get further past the Cairnlands, there's mostly just grasslands with a few spotted forests here and there before you make your way into the proper of Eurema. From there, it should be easy to procure some travel to Desov if you so wish. As to Desov itself, I don't really know too much about it. I've never been there. And it's somewhat more inland than our ship goes to. You'll have to ask for more information when you're there.
How far is it by sea?
He says, how far to where? Exactly.
Desov. Oh, you said it was inland. Well, to the closest inland port. I mean, closest port.
He says we're not going to be traveling to... We're not scheduled to travel to any ports near there. But if we did, I can't give you the exact time on the boat. But he says basically we could drop you off at the town called Conception, which is roughly about a week's travel by foot to Desov.
Okay. What? Shit.
Go ahead and mark that down as well.
Damn it, that's what I should have got. Fuck.
What?
A wand of endure elements, so I can just
Ah.
use it on the whole party, including the horses, or
How long does it
including
last?
some kind of animal to ride. 24 hours.
He mentions that whatever these special... You kind of figure that whatever these special animals are, they're probably pretty well equipped for the cold.
Okay. At least I could have used it on those of us that don't have the boots.
I asked him. You asked what do you think the likelihood of us finding a boat, another boat to take us to Conception?
He says that really... He says, I'm not sure. He says the boycott to travel means that you probably aren't going to be able to find a vessel out of Daramis. You might be able to catch some Sonohi vessels, or maybe if you're very lucky, a Peroshi vessel that's headed that way on account of the Peace Summit. But
What is why wouldn't there be?
he says, but I'm not sure that a Peroshi vessel would come this far north.
I'm not asking him this, but why wouldn't there be Uraman vessels?
He says you might be able to find a Urima vessel here, but I'm not so sure that they'd have ones that are big enough for passenger transport along the coast. You could try, though.
Okay.
You could take a look. He says a lot of people don't really come to Theminor, though. And you can kind of tell why. Once you get closer and closer to port, it still gets colder and colder and colder. Like, he says, this is pretty much the edge of civilization in Urima. There are settlements like Citadel North and Astrarius, but if you're going to go there, you have to have a very good reason.
Yeah, what is the Count getting out here?
The Count makes his way onto the deck, and he goes, yes, while I'm making my way to Desov, I actually need to make a short stop inside of Theminor and talk to the town elders here. I have some business to discuss with them. Work out some travel preparations for our Majesty once he's finished at the summit as well. I might be here
Wait, is
for
the
some
summit
time.
at Theminor?
No, the summit is at Desov.
Oh, okay. What was the
So-
place where we're supposed to deliver the message?
I was trying to look that up
Ibiram.
right now. Okay.
Abiram. And that's near where?
Ibiram is further south than even Desov. Desov is kind of in the north. It's like northern central Urima, if that makes sense. Ibiram is closer
Is-
to the central Ibiram. Or to central
And
Urima. rather.
Theminor is like really in the north.
Yeah, Theminor is pretty much, again, the border of the north. Like, there's Citadel North, but that's like a fort, and you've heard tales that that place is brutal. Like, you do not want to be there.
It's like Castle Black, or it's like, yeah.
Yeah, like, you gotta keep in mind, I thought of this shit before I had seen.
Yeah, but I'm trying
So,
to like.
yeah, I guess
picture
that's
it in
kind
my
of
head.
similar. But it's, yeah, like, it's fucking brutally cold. There's always snowstorms, like, all the fucking time. It's super dangerous because they basically have to fight off all the hordes of frost trolls and other, like, cold weather intelligent beasts that try to make their way into Urima proper.
Yeah.
And then there's Astraris, which is on top of the mountains in the north. Which you recall, what's his name? Salahul is... No, which you recall Salahul is... He mentioned that he was part of the military force at Astraris.
Oh wow.
So he's seen combat up there as well.
So that'd be really fucking cold if it's on the mountains too.
As for what you know of Astraris, what I've given you at least, you know that there's like a very storied... there's a very storied order of magic users there. And they have one of the most, I should say, advanced observatory in all of Fonoros.
It'd be a pretty cool place to check out. Like, well, we already have most of the information on the things, but we need to deliver this, so.
It might be rather interesting to go there at some point, just because you have continued to notice that more and more of the stars have disappeared.
Yes. So I think we should make a note of that place after we deliver this message.
I can go ahead and mark that down as well for you guys. Just in case you guys have, like...
I still feel like this delivering the message thing is going to take a while as far as sessions go, because it sounded like we have to go through like 2 towns on
I
the way to the place to
I think
deliver.
that's how it's spelled, but that might be wrong. But it's close to that.
In an Arctic desert.
Oh, this is what it is. It's like Astraris. There we go. That's what it is.
Okay, so I put my cold weather outfit on because it's cold.
The Duke says, well, Urima is a fairly big place, but depending on where you're at and how prevalent the magic is in the area, you might be able to find transportation gates or crystals that could take you from place to place fairly rapidly.
In Theminor?
It says, I don't think that they have them in Thiminor yet.
Wait,
It's
where did
mostly
he say?
restricted to central and southern Eurema. The
Yo, Neil's
last,
on.
he says, the furthest one to the... he gives you a town that I'm not going to mention now, but he says once you get past the Cairnlands, you might find a major city there that might have access to one of the crystals.
So
And they go as
does
far south as the Sears Tree in southern
does
Eurema.
Urima get colder the further east you go?
He says it's very cold in the north, but if you actually go east, it is a land of pure ice.
Okay. Because east is like their pole, right?
He says that's
The
not to
climate
say.
science.
He also says that's not to say that it is uninhabited there, or that it is a community locked in vagrancy. Like there are some very interesting magical academies there.
Nice. Out in the Arctic. We should I guess first we should just check out some stuff in Thenanor before we head out.
Neil's online, by the way.
Is he going to be ready, or?
Yeah. He wants you to
So
invite
the
him
ship
back.
is making its way into
Wait a
Thenanor's
second.
port right now. Is that what was occurring?
Yeah. I just wanted to give you guys a chance to talk it over with Aldrazon and whatever if you needed to, or if you needed to talk to the Count at all.
So if the Count is heading to Dessoff and that's on our way, like that would be the first place we'd go to right before breaking off and going to the other town you said?
Well, you recall that the Count did say that he has some business to attend to here.
So he's going to be leaving in a while, and we probably will head out first. Hey,
What's
Neil.
up?
His mic's very low.
Yeah.
Your mic is pretty awesome right now.
Yeah, it's really sweet. Like I don't even know how to describe how it sounded. Sounds like it's like he put it inside of a pillow.
Be right back.
He actually turned his pillow into a mic. Funny you should
Yeah, there we go.
say that. Alright, well,
I remember when I used to use headphones as a mic because my mic was broken.
going to adjust the portraits now because of that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Is that any better?
a little bit.
Okay. It's getting better.
It's like breaking up though is kind of the problem. Like, not only do you sound far away from the mic, but it's also breaking up in between when you're talking.
I can't tell right now. It's that low to where I can't even.
Does that seem better?
A little
I mean,
bit. Like I can hear you
You're-
now.
Great, my mic is.
Your mic is dildos.
Is still those.
His arms the dildos.
Is still those.
Neil, you could get Skype on your phone, and it would probably work a
Yeah.
lot better.
Yeah, it might be a good idea actually. I had someone else doing that.
alright,
before,
well-
and it was
What do you want to do, Neil? If you
You guys can't hear me.
if you want to, Neil, the server is up actually for map tools. So if you want to connect, you can, and you can kind of type out what you want to do here. Either that or type it in Skype. Like if you want to get it on your phone, or if you want to try to fix your mic here, or what. While
remember
you're
when I used-
while you're on here, I guess I could do a really quick recap, just of kind of what they learned so far. They're coming into the port of Thiminor. It's been about 3 weeks that you guys have been out on sea. The port of Thiminor is on basically like a rocky plateau, and it has a natural harbor on it. In the natural harbor, there's stairs which lead up to the main plateau, which is where the city proper is, and there's hauling cranes, which basically like bring all the cargo up to the city proper as well. Um, it's pretty cold in the harbor, like cold enough that people are starting to bundle up on clothes and are moving around to kind of keep warm. And from all accounts of the clouds outside of the city in the overcast sky, it seems well within the possibility that it might be snowing in the actual village proper.
Fucking sweet.
Um, you've heard
There we
that
go.
it's a really cold place here. You've heard it gets brutally cold once you get more north in Urima. Where you guys need to head if you're headed towards Desov, which is where they're going, is you need to head south, which is through the Cairn Lands, which is these stony badlands. That's like a Arctic desert. It has pretty much no water, no ice. It's like stone ground, but it is brutally cold. Um, you've heard that normal horse mounts won't work there. Horses tend to break their shoes, break their legs even on uneven ground, things of that nature. Once you get past the Cairn Lands, though, which that's like the worst obstacle they have, and the land kind of opens up from there. And I've just been kind of talking to them about how you can travel past there, kind of how far it is from place to place. Count Harlan Wells has mentioned that he needs to stay in Themenor for a small period of time to talk with the village council there. And as to making their way through to Desov or closer to Desov by boat, um, Aldrazon, who's the first mate, has said that he's not sure that the captain will keep them on longer, but they could always give it a try. They also discussed maybe seeing if they could find a Uriman vessel that was for passengers and maybe catching a ride there at Themenor. Well, while Neil's getting that all set up, what else do you guys... Did you have any more questions to ask to Aldrazon or the Count or anyone else really on the ship?
No.
Oh, that would have been cool. Fuck.
What?
Just this ranger spell I have that I could have used the day after we fought, the day after we got attacked by those guys in the street. Whatever.
Oh, it's funny. I
What?
had prepared 3 liberating command casts in case we got locked up.
Oh,
I
that's
don't
funny.
know what Liberating Command is.
If you get
Let's see.
restrained, you get a free escape
An
artist
escape
check,
is immediate action and
and you
gains a
get a
+8
big ol'
on escape
bonus.
artist.
Yeah. It's basically specifically for escaping if you're going to be captured. It's not a guarantee, but it helps.
I guess we should memorize spells. Because I don't.
Yes, that's a good idea. So,
Okay, if you guys want to do that real quick, feel free to.
I'll do this, and then I'll do... How long does Long Strider work? 1 hour level. Yeah.
How's the mic coming along, Neil? I guess not at all.
So we're gonna get fucking... Yeah. One of these.
Man, that is so low.
Yeah.
We can't hear. Do you need help casting Endure Elements?
Yeah, I can cast enough for all of us, but then I'd only have two level 1 spells left.